Hello everybody, I hope you're doing fantastically well. Welcome back to Connor here on the One Leeds Fan Channel, and I'm here to talk to you about teamwallart.com. Now listen, for the channel to prosper, for the channel to have the creativity and the innovativeness that we have, we need you to go and buy a product from Team Wallart, guys, because it helps us. They help us run as a Leeds United fan channel, and what I love about them in particular is they're Leeds fans. They're not just some generic brand, they are Leeds fans. So we need to be supporting them. And I think they've got some great gear as well, guys. They've got a new Rafinha plaque, which Brownie's just got, which is absolutely mint. I think you guys have been ordering it in abundance, which is great to see. But if you'd go over there with the code ONELEEDS, you get a 10% discount and you can get plaques for as cheap as £5. It's worldwide shipping for an incredible rate. Go over there, guys. Check them out and enjoy the video. Yes, everybody. I hope you're doing fantastically well. It is Connor. We are back here on a live for the first time in what has seemed to be far too long. You know, we like the pre-uploaded videos. I like mixing it up. I like content variation for you guys. But, you know, some like it, some don't. But here we are. We're back with a live. I hope you're all doing fantastically well. And before, guys, I want to get into it. I just want to shout something out as well, which sort of hits home with me in terms of, you know, people that I've known that have gone through something similar. We've had some sort of horrific news this morning in terms of one of our creators in this space, in the YouTube space, leaving us, dying, which has been absolutely horrendous. It's sort of hit me really hard, actually. I did a couple of streams with this individual, a genuine, lovely, absolute obsessed Arsenal fan. And I absolutely loved it because I'm an obsessed Leeds fan, as you lot know. Claude from Arsenal Fan TV, or Claude from Claude and the Bansters. Yeah, absolutely gutted when I heard the news. I didn't know Claude personally, but obviously I was on a couple of NHS streams with the lad, and just what a lovely, lovely, kind, gentle man. Hearing wonderful things about him. What I'd love to do is a video on social media and mental health. That's what I would love to do. If you guys would like to see that, please smash a like button or put a comment in the section below. I'd love to talk about mental health and social media. It's something that's really close to me. It's affected some people I know around me as well. So if you would like to see that, please let me know in the comment section below. I know I get a lot of comments from you guys in the DMs as well about suffering from mental health and suffering on social media. So please let me know. I will be going on one of my good mate, Mike from Blue Boys Network channel tomorrow to talk about mental health and all this sort of stuff. So please let me know if you want a video on that. All the donations, if you do make them in the live stream, will be going directly to a mental health charity of my choice, and there will be several links in the description below about that as well. But if you are ever suffering, you know, make sure that you speak out. It's massively important. So I just wanted to start the video with that. I think it's a massive thing. I don't think it's spoken about a lot. I think it's a taboo. Let's shh about it. Don't mention it. And I hate that. I'm not that sort of guy. So please let me know in the comment section below. But anyway, guys, we're here to talk about Rodrigo De Paul. Now, Rodrigo De Paul. This is a name that the rumour mill was founded on, isn't it? It's probably the reason half you lot are subscribed, because of my man De Paul. I just love putting that man in my video titles. He's incredible. But listen, we've got an actual link. Surprising, you know, I did the video. I put the video up and I thought to myself, I mean, I can talk about it. I can talk about how I genuinely like him in the team and how I think he would win us the Champions League, the World Cup, the Copa America, everything, the Asia Cup, the Aldi Cup, whatever. I think he'd win us the lot. I think he's that good. But a real link came out today, and apparently it is close to Italian sources. That Leeds are still in the running for this man. Now, I've seen a lot of comments in the section below as well, talking about, well, he wouldn't want to come. He got rid of that link last week. Guys, let me tell you this. Rodrigo, at the start of the last window, was saying that he was never leaving Valencia. Robin Koch was nailed on to go to Newcastle. So don't believe any of that absolute waffle, as I like to say, on the rumour mill. But listen, it's contradictory from me because I am believing some of the waffle, but it does seem like a highly credible link. So let's get into it anyway. Let's get him, says Mad Paul. Rumour mill, oh, I don't know, it might have done. His 84 card and ultimate team is fantastic. Italian sources, Dol Mio. Winning the Champions League. Joe Grimes, it's okay not to be okay. We all have good days and bad days. It's vital we speak to someone when we're feeling low. 100%, Joe. That money will be donated to a mental health charity. So thank you so much for your donation. As I said, we will be doing a separate stream on that if you guys would like to see something. It's something that's, as I've said, very dear to me. Okay, so Rodrigo De Paul. Not, you know, he's my favourite Rodrigo. I'm sorry, and that's even Rodrigo in our squad. Maybe that's treason. It's a traitor, Mark, saying that. But look at this. This wasn't even that long ago. The guy's a freak. Literally, I've watched so much of him in the analysis up to this, and I knew about him when I was in the rumour last year. But I'm convinced he's a complete freak again. I thought he'd let up, but he's not let up. He's still going. Most clear-cut chances created by league this season: Bruno Fernandes 17, Messi 16, De Paul 18, Dusan Tadic, to be fair to him, 19. Obviously, they're not in order, but there you go. Rodrigo putting up second. I think it was about a week or two ago, that one. So basically, guys, what I'm trying to say is he's still putting up crazy numbers. He's 26 years of age. I think he's got 6 assists this year and 7 goals. But I'm going to pick out some images for you. He's just, some of what he does when I'm watching him is, I don't know how he's at Udinese. I don't know what's happened. Could it be his attitude? I don't know. That's me just completely speculating. But on ability alone, the guy's a complete freak, you know. And this is sort of where I think to myself with regards to Rafinha. Do we have to be careful with saying like he's absolutely world class? You know, we've seen him for a season, and this is a complete different point. But if De Paul was to come, and De Paul was to just absolutely light up our side, and even, you know, go past Rafinha's level, which he definitely has the ability to do, or could even be at that stage now. Well, he is at that stage now. You know, he's playing at such a good level and having so many good numbers, like Rafinha is, to be fair. But I think Rodrigo De Paul's done it more consistently at the top level for 2 or 3 years. But is it dangerous as calling Rafinha world class? If De Paul came in, could he be a level above? And I genuinely think that's where Leeds are going to be looking this year. As I've said to you before, you know, Perot, we've done a little analysis on him before on the channel, Coop Miners, and just levels above. So it's going to be really interesting next season. Please keep getting your thoughts in, guys, on let me know in what you think. Can he play left back? He probably can. He probably can. I think Rafinha could play left back, to be honest. He could play everywhere. We don't like everything else. We have a plan to be a sustainable club. I agree. Now, there's a lot of talk as well about does T and Coops fit in, and we will get onto that in the end. I've done a little bit of a formation mender where you guys will be able to potentially see how I would like to see Leeds United next season. But this is where the rumour came from initially, according to reports. And this, by the way, guys, I will just say this isn't reported by Footy Accumulators. This is sort of quote tweeted, I will say. According to reports in Italy, despite interest from Atalanta, Leeds United are leading the race for Rodrigo De Paul if he is to leave Udinese this summer. What a signing that would be. And then look at the faces. And we know it would. And we saw it last year. And we were just, it was a stubborn owner. You know, we saw him liking the square ball stuff. We saw him like searching for himself, you know, all this sort of stuff. You know, liking posts, commenting back to Leeds fans consistently. This guy wanted the move. He wanted the move. And you're kidding yourselves if you're thinking elsewise. Now, listen, when I was doing the rumour mill last summer, we were all talking about, I think they're called the Pozzos, who own Watford and Udinese and a host of other clubs, but they're very stubborn owners, you know, sort of Daniel Levy-esque. So they were really haggling out for a price. But, you know, times change, you know, with everything that's going on with the pandemic, everything with the economic market in football as it is now. Are they going to be requesting that sort of money? Are Leeds going to be able to go in if we're financially sort of okay? Are we going to be able to go in, slap 40 million down and take him? You know, are we going to be able to do that? There's so many questions that are going to be asked this summer because teams are going to want to sell. They're not going to want to sell. They have to sell. They have to sell, especially in some of the Mediterranean countries. And I know that for a fact. So teams are going to have to sell. So if the English clubs, who are probably in better positions than most around Europe, are able to put that money down, I don't see why it couldn't happen. We will stay in the Premier League. Who knows what point all we could get to. Leeds are in such a more attractive position than we were last year. And last year we were in a great position. So, yeah, as I say, guys, keep letting me know what you think in the comment section below. That'll be 3 times award winning, the square ball. A lot of people talking about Rafinha in the comment section below as well. RDP says Jack, a friend of the channel, and Tayon Koopminers would be perfect. Any rumour in Aguero coming to Leeds? I don't know if I want him. I think Paddy's doing a good job. Now, listen. This was freakish. This was, I was watching this game because my Italian team are Lazio, and I was watching this game and I had a vested interest in, obviously, Rodrigo De Paul. This was a Rabona. He takes on the man at the bottom, the man who's striding to get to him there. This is on his left side as well, not his strongest side. He Rabonas this ball in to the individual in the middle, who it's an awful header. It's a really woeful header. And look at the minute as well, the 88th minute. Once again, stamina, fitness, De Paul absolutely bombing on. He's absolutely everywhere. And it's an incredible piece of skill. Please put it on YouTube, guys. A lot of you talk to me about still images and getting videos. I can't get videos because it would be copyright. So this is all I can do for you. But please, just type this in on YouTube. The guy's a freak, and this was just incredible. The way he's running with the ball, the pace, just the skill the guy has is just watching his YouTube clips. What a player. Now, this is something I've titled it's the Rafinha effect. And the reason I've titled this the Rafinha effect is because Leeds saw a massive increase in our productivity going forward when Rafinha was placed on corners and set pieces and everything like that. Because the balls in were better. You know, we had Calvin on them, we had Harrison on them sometimes, Douglas on them in the Championship. Half the time they wouldn't beat the first man. Rafinha came in, changed our entire input when it came to corners, and his offensive play was unbelievable from that position. Rodrigo De Paul is set up for set pieces. He's the James Ward-Prowse with more flair, with more elegance, with more accuracy, with more razzmatazz in the Italian league. The Argentinian version of James Ward-Prowse on steroids. He's that good. And you'll see these from some of these still images coming up. But he's just so good. And getting someone like that in who's able to assist Rafinha, maybe even take over Rafinha's mantle from set pieces, would be astronomical for Leeds United's productivity from set pieces. Once again, here he is delivering another assist. But it's the variation as well. So what he'll do, as you can see, the Parma defender there, who's sort of standing on the edge, not marking anyone. What De Paul does frequently is he mixes it up. So it's not just a standardised ball in the middle, which we see from a lot of Premier League footballers. He'll drill it in, he'll float it to the back post, or he'll just bend it into the middle. And he's just got such a football intelligence. You guys hear me going on about football intelligence so much. And as Luke Fruin says here, De Paul type ball that. And guess what? Because he's not at Manchester City, because he's not at a world-renowned club, he can't be doing that. But guess what, guys? That's what we're saying about Rafinha. He can't do that. He wouldn't be able to do that. He couldn't lace Mahrez's boots. Well, he's putting up better numbers than Mahrez right now. He's putting up better numbers than half the wingers in the Premier League right now. So he can do it. These players just need the chance. You know, and if it's just us against Atalanta to get this kid, fancy, you know, I know they're a Champions League club. I know they've been really rising, Atalanta, but I do fancy us. I just think we're such an attractive prospect. But this guy, he can mix up his free kicks, he can mix up his corners, he can mix up his penalties. And when I say mix up his penalties, giving the keeper the eyes, drilling the ball, finessing it in the top corner. You know, there are variations to penalty strokes, and this guy's just got it in abundance. This was sumptuous. I've run out of superlatives for this one. He's running with the ball at about 120 miles an hour. The ball was fed to him by the right back. These are just some of his best moments that I picked out because I didn't want to just go through category and category and category. He's got pressure on him from the three midfielders. He gets the ball, and you can just see it's that Pablo-esque thing where defenders just won't touch him. They will not touch him because if they get close to him, he's either going to surpass them with a pass that they've not been able to cover, or they're going to give away a foul because he's really intelligent at picking up fouls. He plays an absolutely wonderful ball in here. And I tell you what, guys, the strikers at Udinese must be absolutely laughing, but they've missed an abundance. And they've got this striker called Lasagna. And I'm being serious. The commentators pronounced it as lasagna. I'm not being disparaging to him. That's how it was pronounced. He can't finish. I mean, he might have got a fair few goals this season, but the amount of chances De Paul puts on a plate for this guy, lasagna plate, that's got to have been made in commentary, that pun, hasn't it? And he doesn't finish his dinner. Oh God, it's been a long day. It's been a long day. But he doesn't finish his dinner. He really doesn't. And if we had Paddy Bamford there, Paddy Bamford who's been lethal this year, Paddy Messi, Paddy Ronaldinho this year, yeah, I think he's just going to profit from it. I really, really do. But the intelligence there is just next level for me. What do I always talk about, guys? Press resistance. What do I always talk about on these streams? The opponent. Because the quality of the opponent normally dictates how this guy will fare in the Premier League. We've got Napoli, we've got Juventus. This guy does it against the very best. And this was just a lovely turn of pace here. He turns away from Insigne down here. Then he comes up. I don't know if this was Koulibaly. I'm not 100% sure. I can't remember. But he completely turns him, runs into this space here that you can see. And everybody is looking at him. Everybody is looking to see what he's going to do. You know, that is that. And he's the man. And this is what I was saying with Pablo. He is like Pablo, but on steroids. He's Pablo, but real elite, world-class Pablo. He's got that pace. He's got that turn of pace as well. And look at this. He gets into this space. I think it is Koulibaly. And he plays a lovely ball to Lasagna, who, as I've said, gets the ball in. And I'm thinking, I'm watching it back. I don't even support Udinese. I'm thinking, you've got to tuck this away. De Paul's just done some magic work. And guys, look at the position here. Who would be here for Leeds? I don't even think it'd be Bamford. It'd be Rafa. Rafa steaming through on goal. And you can see Rodrigo De Paul just placing it to Rafa there. And Rafa absolutely smashing it past Dean Henderson at Old Trafford, at the Theatre of Screams, and putting Leeds 8-0 up. But you know what I mean? The partnerships that we can form by just having this player in this team. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Back to goal. Another asset that we love in this Leeds United side, because we have to pick up balls in pressurised situations with players around us, you know, deploying their high press. Back to goal, gets the ball here, head up straight away. And that's what I love about him. His head is always up, looking for that pass, looking for that killer pass. And just look at this. An absolutely sumptuous ball here to Lasagna. And he just the keeper, man. The keeper. Some great sweeper-like play from the keeper. But De Paul always got his head up, always looking forward. I think that's sometimes the criticism with this Leeds United side. I think sometimes it can be lateral. Sometimes maybe they're not confident on the ball, so they just want to recycle it. And that's why we get such high numbers in possession in our defensive third. But this guy's risk and reward. He will always look to play the ball forward. Risk and De Paul. That's what we'll start calling it. Get your comments in the section below, guys. How many coffees have you had today, Connor? I've started going on the lemon and gingers and the peppermints, you know. It's not worked. I prefer coffee. I prefer coffee. Apparently Watford will get him. That'll be interesting. This Lasagna cannot finish, says Logan. He can't. This Lasagna, please get his name. I don't want to absolutely hammer this guy. I just don't know who he is. But it's Lasagna. And listen, he's got some great finishes this year, old Lasagna. But some of De Paul's balls. It's more De Paul's fault for being so good. But yeah, as I said, this, and he came up against Juve earlier on, and I watched that Juve game as well because I do love a little bit of Italian football. Now listen, this is absolutely fabulous from him. He gets the ball here, beats one man, and these two are closing him down. And he's looking for that forward pass again. Absolutely lovely play. Turns these two inside out against Juventus. And it's interesting, the commentator is literally turning around. He's like, you know, you just know it straight away. He's like, oh, here we go. De Paul on the ball. De Paul getting the ball. And this is who Udinese always look to. We know everybody's on the edge of the seats. They know what's going to happen, obviously, with the pandemic. We don't know, you know, everyone's on the edge of the seats. But, you know, he just gets the ball. And like Rafa, it's what's happening, you know, and that excitement. Imagine just getting back into Ellen Road and seeing De Paul with that Leeds shirt on. He looks good in white anyway. You've seen that on the thumbnail. Rafa, Perot, Koopman, just whoever, but De Paul, man, if we could just get that over the line, I just think it could happen. That is based on nothing. But just where we are now, we're in such a better stage than where we were last year when we were going for him. We're in such a better stage right now. And that's why I think there's got to be, you know, there's smoke where there's fire, and there has to be here. This De Paul stuff is not going away. I think Brownie said it on a stream earlier on. He mentioned it about 3 months ago. He said, you know, this De Paul thing, this is going to keep rumbling on. And I'm fully in agreement with it. But yeah, I think it's just reading what you guys are saying in the comment section below. You know when the mic then connects and you've been doing it for like 40 minutes and it's the most frustrating thing ever. But now, look, you can hear me now, can't you? Frustrating. Should we just cancel it and go again? I can't keep this level of excitement up though. But there you go, guys. That's the microphone back on track. But these are his latest games anyway. And you might not be able to see this, but I'll just read it out to you. So obviously his latest games are towards the bottom, against Parma there, against Fiorentina, against AC Milan, against Sassuolo, against Genoa, against Lazio, against the big teams. He turns up and look at his like man of the match, goals, assists. Got a little bit of a fiery side, which we don't mind at Ellen Road, especially when the crowds are going to be back there. But I think the guy is I think he's absolutely perfect. I think he's absolutely perfect for what we need in that creative midfield role. So, yeah, I mean, get your comments in the section below, guys. Let me know exactly what you think. DK says that could happen, Connor, but it's based on nothing. That'll do me. I can't wait to see this team in another 2 transfers time. You need an IT and a sound man. Roberts needs a minder. Brownie's not in here, so we can't go about him. But no, listen, guys, it's everything. I've only finished work an hour ago as well, so it's an absolute nightmare. Is he an 8 or is he a 10? Says John H. From what you gather, watching him, he is a 10. But I think similarly to Bakary Samari, he would be able to play in that 8. I do believe that, watching De Paul. It would be interesting as well because he definitely have to adapt. There would be elements in his game which he would have to adapt. He'd have to do it because if he didn't do it, Bielsa wouldn't play him. And you can expect even if he did sign, Bielsa wouldn't play him for a numerous amount of weeks, and we know that. But I thoroughly believe Leeds in this window will sign players very, very early. I think that will happen because why would you not? And everything happened last summer, which you had no control over. This summer, I think we'll be signing players very, very early. That's my personal opinion. 40 million worth, says Gamer Guy Ethan, for Rodrigo De Paul. How likely do you think on the scale of 1 to 10? I can't provide you with any insight at all. I'm not going to be an in the know, but what I am is someone who hosts something called the Rumour Mill. So we have to talk about these sorts of things because it's always a rumour with De Paul. I think this summer I'm going to go out there on a whim and say 7.5, that we get him pushing an 8. There's no smoke without fire. And I just think with the economic problems around the Mediterranean, around Europe at this minute, Real Madrid and Barca are skint. How are clubs like Udinese going to be faring? I'm just convinced that Leeds will be able to do something. And I think we're going to be looking in Europe a heck of a lot. That's my personal opinion. Anyway, it's going to be really interesting to see. So this is what I sort of looked at earlier on. Hold on a sec. Just remove a couple of comments. Get Team Wall out of there. Guys, make sure as well you go check out Team Wall. That link in the description below, please. So here, if you can't quite see,
we've got Melier in net, and this is what I'm sort of looking for at the end of the transfer window, hopefully. Ayling, Koch, Struijk. A lot of people don't like that. A lot of people will say Llorente in there. Struijk's been magnificent for me. Koch is a magnificent defender. There's mistakes there, but you've got sort of two early 20-year-olds there. Llorente, 27, 28. Koch and Struijk are going to be the ones going forward. And Struijk has been absolutely unbelievable this year. But listen, I like Llorente. Who do I think's the better defender, Llorente or Struijk? I'd still say Struijk at a young age. I'm going to put my neck out there. A lot of you won't agree. But I think Struijk's been unbelievable for us this season. I think he's played 11 games and we've kept something like 7 clean sheets when he's been involved. Numbers speak for themselves. I think he's a fantastic defender. He's got all the attributes as well. And I think when you look at his all-round game, he's developing very, very quickly. And he's shown it in the Premier League so far. And it's a right and a left footer as well, which we know Bielsa favours. We know that. So, yeah, for me, 100%. I'd be interested to see what you guys think about that. All talking about some of you guys. Funny. Bamford isn't playing behind the keeper, by the way. It's just this app. Perot on the left. Can't wait to see that. I'm convinced that one's going to be done. Calvin just in front of the 4. Now, Koopmeiners here, and we spoke about him in the video. If you haven't checked that video out, please go do it. It's an analytical view on Koopmeiners, and that has been available sort of in the last couple of weeks. Koopmeiners is a weird one, really, because, you know, he is more of a defense. Like, he's played centre-back this year as Koopmeiners. He's played defensive midfield. He's played central midfield. So he is versatile. So you can see Leeds going for that. And if that is going to be cover or even starter, you know, for who's ever position, that could be really interesting. He scored 16 goals this year. So I know a lot of them have been penalties, but a lot of them have been getting forward as well. So that will be really interesting to see if the 4-1-4-1, Calvin, then you've got Koopmeiners just a little bit further ahead. I know a lot of people draw similarities with Koopmeiners and Calvin. But I think Koopmeiners could play a little bit more advanced from what I've seen of him. And then RDP just a little bit further ahead. Now, this is what we're praying. I mean, but look at that midfield. Look at that midfield. I've just seen King Gelhard saying there it's a top 6 team. Isn't Cooper 6, not an 8? I just think the thing is, he's a weird position. He sort of plays everywhere in that spine, really, aside from sort of a 10 and an 8. But when he's scoring 16 goals, and the clips that I picked out on my analytics piece on Koopmeiners, he's bombing forward. So whether or not he's got the attributes to be able to do that, that will be really interesting. And what do we know with Bielsa's side? It's all about adapting to positions. And it'd be really interesting to see whether or not he'd be able to mould himself into a 4-1-4-1 system and maybe play a little bit more advanced. Because if he's got the attributes, if he's got the technicalities to his play, moulding him's okay. That's the small part. The technicalities are the big part. Can he do that? Yes. Okay, well, let's do this. You know, we've seen, example, Tyler Roberts, centre forward, right wing, left wing, Cam, CM. We've seen him everywhere. So I don't think when people are asking, is he a 6 or an 8? Well, naturally, he might be a 6 or an 8 in his club form. But yeah, for me, he has the ability to be anywhere, Koopmeiners, in that midfield. And Bielsa will mould that. We've seen that everywhere. So keep getting your comments in, guys. It'll be really interesting to see. A lot of people talking about Struijk, Cooper, Captain Calvo, Bill maybe. Llorente is really good running with the ball and long passes. Played like that in the national team. So Struijk and Llorente is my choice. Yeah, I think a lot of people would like that. Listen, as well, a lot of people talking about Dallas. I love Stu. He's my player of the season. I absolutely love him. He's my favourite Leeds player. Probably Rafa is, to be fair, but Stu's a very close second. You can't win this because if anyone says you're picking someone else over him, you're throwing him under the bus, which I'm not, because I've just said he's my favourite player. But if we're looking at that elite level, come on. I love Stu. Brilliant player. And he's adapted to this Premier League very, very well. But not in that midfield consistently. We both know that. We all know that. You know, I'm not saying he's not good enough. I'm not. But if you're looking at these elite younger players who are playing at the top of the game already, come on, you know. I mean, I can't spell it out any more than that. But let's get back on the team. Koopmeiners RDP, and then we've got Harrison, Rafa, and Bamford, and an opposition goalkeeper. There you go. So, I mean, for me, when you're looking at that team, I mean, if you look at that, I mean, really, and then we've got the likes of Dallas on the bench who can come on and still change games. You know, Joey Gelhard, hopefully getting involved next year. I mean, wow, what a team. What a team this could be next year. And it's with a few additions. You know, we've already proved that we can do it. Keeping all the Raffas a must. It'd be a travesty if he went. I don't think he will. Adding someone like RDP, I do think we'll get a world-class 8/10. I do think that's going to happen. Then you've still got the likes of Dallas, Click, all on the bench to come on. That is when, just with a few world-class additions going under the radar, Rodrigo as well on the bench, all fighting for one spot. This is when you start to get some real interesting league positions in years to come. And that's where I'm really excited, because I think Leeds will do the business. I think even if we don't get Roddy De Paul, I do think we'll go and get someone who's a massive player, in that 10 or 8. You know, we didn't expect, and this is what I said before, a lot of people turn around and be like, well, papers have said this, papers have said that. But like I've said at the start, you know, we had 3, 4, 5 newspaper articles saying Rodrigo was staying at Valencia. You know, Robin Koch was going to Newcastle. Rafinha was in tears as he left Rennes. Leeds forced him to move, you know, and these were by highly reputable sources. So if there's still publications out in Italy still talking about Leeds being interested, Leeds being the front runners in pole position, shout out Lewis Hamilton. For Rodrigo De Paul, no smoke without fire, guys. I don't think, in my personal opinion. So it's very exciting times. Moldy, big fan of the channel, Wolves fan as well. Thank you for your support, Moldy. Evolution of your squad will see Dallas, Ayling, Cooper, Click phased out. Bench players moved on, and I hate saying this. And sorry, Robert Dunlop here, according to a new piece from Tutto Atalanta, it suggested that De Paul could be available for as little as 29.8, and that's what I'm talking about with the market, the Mediterranean European market not being strong and teams having to sell players. We're not talking about Juventus here, by the way, as well, guys, and this is with no disrespect. We're not talking about Lazio. We're not talking about Roma, the big boys. We're talking about Udinese, with all respect. You know, we are. And are they, if Leeds come in with big money, you know, we've got the San Francisco 49ers behind us now who injected 60 million not long ago. We're not playing. But Moldy says here, Dallas, Ayling, Cooper, Click phased out to be eventually. This is a Wolves fan. You know, this is a Wolves fan. Andrea Radrizzani was talking about us being Wolves last year. He's sort of changed his dialect, his rhetoric to Leicester. But that's great, knowing you know, about Leicester as well. And that's no disrespect to Wolves, but, you know, Leicester are a higher placed club, aren't they? And it'd be really interesting to see whether or not we can emulate either model. But, you know, like we saw with Wolves, Barry Douglas, etc., Helder Costa phased out of the squad for the new breed. And that's what happens. And here we go. Is RDP above the others? It's a great one to end on, Telly. Yes. RDP changes the landscape of this Leeds squad. Clip it up. He changes the landscape. You know what I mean? He changes everything for me. His ability, his minutes on the pitch, his stamina. You look at all those clips I was showing you there, guys. I didn't circle the time. It's 88, 90, 91, 92, 85. The guy does not stop. His energy, where he can play, 8, 10, doesn't seem to have a massive ego. You know, he doesn't seem to be throwing his dummies out the pram last year after he didn't get his move. Doesn't seem to be throwing his dummies out the pram. What does he do? Comes back next year and puts out even better numbers than the year before. That's the man I want in my team. That's the guy I want in my team. Don't know about you guys, but there we go. Listen, I'm going to leave it because I know a lot of you have just joined and you can watch it back. I don't want to waffle on for an hour because we're all tired. We've all had tough days at work, haven't we? You know? I hope you're all happy and healthy. All your families are happy and healthy. Thank you so much once again for tuning in to hear me waffle for 37, 38 minutes. I appreciate every single one of you. That's genuine. You know, it really is. I would be happy if I said this the other day, 1 or 2 people, you know, you would watch my stuff. Back in the old days, starting the channel a year and a bit ago, I used to have 1 or 2 people watching me. One of them was my brother, I'll be honest. And I enjoyed it. I just enjoy talking to people about the club I love. So please, if you wouldn't mind hitting a like on the video, I'd really appreciate that. Subscribe.
There we go, Mike again. This is the problem, isn't it? This is why you need to get someone from Team All-Out, guys, because Connor needs a new mic.
Again, Connor needs a new mic. But honestly, it means the world. It means the world, all of your support. I don't know how much of that was on mute, but yeah, all this sort of stuff has helped. Everything I get is provided, you know, and helped really by Team All-Out. So you guys getting anything from them, link in the description below. Really does help me. And with regards to the video on mental health, please let me know in the comment section below if you want me to do something on that. I've got a few people who I think would be interested in coming on for that. I know a lot of you guys contact me and I try to help the best I can. So please get in the comment section below if you would like that video. I'm going to stop waffling on. I really am. Have a lovely evening. And sun's out, innit, here in the UK. So great stuff. Have a good one, guys. And I will see you very, very soon for your Sheffield United preview. Come on, Leeds. Cheers.